Oh my god. It's 11, guys. Doritos in chat right now. Doritos in chat.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Welcome everyone. There's so many emojis. I wish I disabled it before.
It's too late, we gotta embrace it now.
Yes.
Doing it live.
Alright. So, welcome everyone to this live stream. This is the official live stream of the Kickstarter launch. And we're extremely excited. I think my hand is shaking a little bit. I can't even follow the chat. I can see Dominating and Gizmo. I like it.
Who
All right.
brought Doritos to the party? Everybody
should we-
Doritos in chat.
What should we start with, David?
I think we should explain the Dorito things because we didn't.
First of all, you should be seen.
Should be seen.
Yes, I see you now. You have a nice house.
Oh yes, I have the best room in here.
It's crazy how in Canada, like everyone have the same house.
Yeah, everyone
just-
in Canada is at the same house.
Yes.
Oh yes, that's the truth. Oh my god, we are the same place. So let's explain the Doritos. Everybody's spamming the Doritos when they are excited in here.
You want to explain it?
Yeah, so
Or
basically
should
it's a you should probably explain it a bit, but it's a running kind of inside in the Outbrk community where people spam Doritos when they are excited. So now I'm eating Doritos in celebration. My flavor of choice for tonight is Cool Ranch. And Mark can explain a little bit where it's taken from.
First of all, by popular demand, everyone asked that I took this brand here, the nacho one, nacho cheese. This is the one I took. So when we first showed some screenshots of the tornadoes in Outbrk, it really looked bad. I'm not saying it looked amazing right now, but it didn't look as good. And the debris cloud at the bottom of the tornado was basically triangles rotating around the tornado. and some people in our Discord community started saying it was a Dorito tornado, and we kind of embraced this meme and made it the center of the Outbrk humor. So that's why I even hold on, I even did a video when I was chasing. This is the Mangum tornado. It's in the background there where my mouse is. And I did this.
Non, ça marche pas. Alright guys, I'm dropping the probe.
That was really funny, I think. I had fun. We were dominating this storm, of course.
Yes.
Hold on,
No
it's
chance.
playing again. All right. So this
the
is
story of the Doritos. Everybody
yes.
spam Doritos when they are high because like we're all about goofing around and it's super like casual and harmless, and it just gives us a purpose to eat more Doritos always. That's very important.
Yes. All right. What's next? Let me just have one Dorito here.
So maybe you could start by explaining how it all started. What made you decide to start this project and how it all started, basically?
Yeah, so I started Outbrk because, of course, I'm a storm chaser. I've been doing this for many years now, and I wanted to find a way of. Thank you for the hype train emote. I wanted to find a way to cure my SDS. SDS is the supercell deprivation syndrome, basically a condition that every storm chaser has during winter where they look at their toilet flushing and they picture a tornado in there. So, of course, I had to find a way of like still chasing, even though it was in winter, especially here. It's really hard. Winter, a lot of snow here in Montreal. So yeah, that's why I started this thing, and I had to. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago that I started learning programming, the Unity engine, everything related to this, and I faced like so many walls because the tech that's needed to do like full scale storms, because I didn't want to do like a small game where just random tornadoes appearing in a small map. I wanted to do like the big thing, the actual full scale simulation game. So I had to create systems that didn't exist, and that was really hard. I hired some people to interpret the model data because we're using real model data, like the scientific things that forecaster uses to predict the chances for tornadoes in certain areas in the United States and everywhere else. So we took this data and we used it to like feed the weather engine in Outbrk. So obviously that was a really hard thing to do, and I'm really proud to say that we did. Obviously there's still things to do. There's still a lot of improvement that we're gonna do over the next months. But we felt that we were ready to show you what we had going on and start this Kickstarter campaign because there's a lot of resources that we need to make this happen. We need to hire some people for stuff that I can't learn all by myself because, of course, that would take another 4 years before we can even play a game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else, David?
That's amazing. So like, I've obviously been friend with Mark for a long time, like a really really long time. We used to play like soccer together when we were like 12 years old. Um, so I've been like watching him do this like early development steps on this project, and it always had a lot of potential. But like at some point, I was like, all right, I think I can really help you. I have like at least 8 years of experience in game development, so I decided that I could just join the project and help him kind of make his dream game come true. So basically, when I joined a year ago, and at this point, the weather system, which is in my opinion the most complicated thing, was already working. So you've been seeing a lot of like streams and previews, and there's videos on YouTube on a lot of different like previews, I guess, where you can see already like the cloud and tornado formation working. Like as Mark said in the Doritos story earlier, it like does not look as amazing as it will be, but the most important thing for like Mark at this point, I guess, is that the tech is working, importing that real weather data is working, replicating it in the Unity game engine is working, and those are the big technical hurdles that like makes the game be this fantastic. So once that was done, I decided like, all right, you need a immense world to fit that in. So that's my specialty. I'm a world designer. So I joined the project and I spent a lot of time with Mark just checking like how can we make this. It's immense. Like we do a 625 kilometer square map. It's bigger than most open games, even AAA open world games. So we really had to like go over all the technical requirements to make this possible, on as well as like the making it the part in the engine. Unity is a very great engine, but it has its flaws. So we needed to make sure that the the tools we use are suited to make this big of a game, and also that we don't like we can actually deliver it and have good performance, because we want to make this game accessible. We want people to be able to play it without like an insane monster computer. So having a world big like that, we had to tackle like loading issues from the very beginning, and we feel like all of this works good enough so we can actually go ahead and do a Kickstarter campaign to bring the major part is bringing the multiplayer part in the game. All of our tools are currently built in a way to support multiplayer. Like it's already built using server code and stuff like that, but we need actual network programmers to help us setting up the whole like game session joining and inventory management, and like making sure that all of this works and can support having big amount of players joining in at the same time and stuff like that. We need expert for that. So a big part of the Kickstarter money is going to go toward making the multiplayer aspect of Outbreak. Another big part is the VFX. You've seen a bunch of stuff that is already in the game. Today, I think we shared small teaser about the VFX, the new VFX we have for the Tornado. It's still in progress. It's still early in the process, but it gives like an idea of like how realistic we aim our tornadoes to be. So it's like starting to look very, very great. On the world side, we've tackled all of our production issues, like how can we make this big world and it's manageable, because we are not like 500 working on this game, so it needs to be manageable by a small team, and it needs to look amazing. It needs to be realistic. It needs to be like fitting a world made for storm chasing simulation. Um, so we use some tools. Sometimes the tools were not working. Like we had to redo all our roads at some point because the tool were not fit to this scale. We found another solution. This solution is not working, so we can have longer roads and not having performance issues. So it was a lot of work to get there, and now we're very, very, very happy to have like finally reached this milestone about Kickstarter. Kickstarter will make this game like actually possible. Otherwise, it just like it's an amazing project, but like to get to the point of being able to support hundreds or thousands of or hundreds of thousands of people, we need that extra push of external teams. So this is what the Kickstarter is for. So yeah, if we're gonna get moving on talking about the Kickstarter campaign and all of this. We have a couple of things to show you guys. We have like we're gonna show you all the Kickstarter page. We have like we've been talking about a new trailer as well. We're gonna show that tonight as well. But if you have like question about the game and stuff like that, feel free to ask in the chat. We're watching it as it goes. We're gonna of course miss some of those questions, but we will make like our best to answer all the most of the questions about gameplay, about the world, about Outbrk, why are we making this, and all that stuff.
Yes. So
And
what?
also,
Yeah, go
can
on.
also say that we have like our Discord server is a main place for the community. If someone can, maybe Mark, you can paste an invite link in the chat. We have like our Discord server where all our community is. You can ask questions there, and Mark and I or other moderators will answer questions. I don't think the Discord link is
Okay. Well, if you go on outbreakgame.com, you can see at the bottom of the page there will be the Discord link, and I'm sure that a mod can currently just post it in the chat if you need to click on it.
So yeah, that's the. You can ask questions there all the time, almost 24 hours a day. Someone will be there to answer you. So we got a pretty good team of moderators as well that help us keep things welcoming for all the new members. It's very important for us that yeah, TY Steven just posted a link. So yeah, it's very important for us that the servers keeps like very welcoming for new members. There's also some pretty good weather channels if you're just interested in weather forecasting and weather event in general. There is a place for that. You can have like help from more experienced people, and like you can learn about things. You can share. If you are just passionate about weather in general, you can go there and meet people that have the same like I guess hobbies as you do. And yeah, it's a pretty cool community so far. Very active and very respectful. I see people spamming Sunday in chat.
David, shut up and take my money.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yes, we will show the Kickstarter tiers rewards. We'll go over the entire Kickstarter campaign pretty much right now, I think.
Yes.
So should we... I guess the first thing to show is the goal, right?
You can go over the Kickstarter thing. Do but yeah. The goal,
Alright.
we haven't shared the goal and stuff. So this is our Kickstarter page. It's not live right now, so
It's gonna be live at midnight.
Yeah, it's gonna be live at midnight. This is just a preview that this is what we've built. All of the price are in Canadian dollar. If you're pledging from like any other currency, you won't get screwed. It's just gonna be like if you pledge from the US, it's gonna be less in US dollars.
Yeah, like actually, like if let me look, I'll do it live.
I'll do it live. Oh my god, you're gonna get doxxed.
That's 22,000 USD.
Yeah. So, and same for all the pledge reward tiers. When you back like a certain price, we've been talking a lot about the early bird package at $24. It's in Canadian dollars, so it's less than that in US dollars. So we try to keep things very affordable. In the end, we want like people to play our game. We make this game for ourselves, and we want to share it with us as most people as possible. We want also people to be able to learn about weather patterns and stuff like that. It's very important for us to make it accessible, yeah, for everybody. So maybe you can go back to the Kickstarter page and start revealing all our things.
All right. So we went over what is Outbrk, of course. I guess since we're seeing the pledges
Yeah, let's go.
at the right, let's do this first.
Yeah.
So $5 or more, just get a special thanks in the game credits. Your name's gonna be in the game. For 24 or more, you're gonna get a copy of Outbrk when it's actually released on early access on Steam. This price here is limited, so like there's gonna be 50 of them. After that, it's 29 Canadian dollars, which is not a lot more. I think most games are more expensive than that anyway on Steam, so
For $29 Canadian, it's this pack is unlimited. It's just we just have a limit for the early bird, but for this is the lowest price package to get Outbrk, and you'll get access to Outbrk as it releases on Steam as early access. We're gonna talk about this a little bit later. Right now, you're seeing estimated delivery December 2020.
yeah, this date here.
Yeah,
go ahead.
this is a real date, but this is not a guaranteed date. We are going to try to deliver for that period of time, but there is still a lot of unknowns going there. We still believe it's doable, but in developments, there is always unexpected things. So we are confident that showing this date give a good estimate, but we can't commit on a specific date and like guarantee it's gonna absolutely happen in December 2020.
So next is 48 for a limited amount, 50. You get just 2 copies of the games.
Yeah,
and
we
then
thought it was yeah, go ahead.
And then after that, when the first 50 are taken, then it's 58 instead of 48.
Yeah, since it's a multiplayer game, we thought it would be nice to be able to buy a copy for your friend and like benefit from these discounted packages. Sometimes people want to chase like with their friends. It's a social thing. Be able to talk about those scenarios. So we thought it would be nice to have like two game package, so you can bring friends.
All right. Actually, maybe I could show the graphic instead.
Yeah.
So that we
on
have
the left, yeah. As we are scrolling, we can see on the left, like we've gone over all the.
You'll be able to see like how the gameplay will work basically from start to end. Okay, I'm gonna go at the end.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay,
so
this is
we went over
version.
This is the backer rewards. So 1 copy of the game and 2 copy of the games with the early bird one. And then after you have the founder packages. So you have bronze, silver, and gold. This gives you 1 copy of the game, but then you also have access to the closed beta.
Yeah, closed beta is going to be like our earliest access to the game. It's gonna be super limited, and it's gonna be like
it's basically testing, right?
Yes. It's just for testing. You're probably going to encounter like a lot of bugs and non-playable states, and it's just to stress test or things. But it's the first time you're gonna be able to actually install and play the game from your home. We're gonna be streaming things, of course, up to this point, but like the closed beta is like the earliest anyone from like the community, I guess, can get their end on.
I see a comment here like buggy as hell. Then not necessarily like the goal, like the name founder means a lot. It means that you want to be part of it. So like if for you having access to the game before the early access release means a lot of bugs, then it's probably not for you, and we understand that. But this is basically so you can play before others and contribute to the development of the game, basically.
Yeah, so like you can give feedback, you can give suggestions. As we enter closed beta phases, we will be like super listening to our community about everything that they are suggesting, making sure that like we're building a game that you guys actually want to play. Super important, like on different features and stuff like that. Maybe we can like maybe as you get to driving and stuff, it doesn't feel as good as you thought, or maybe some feature feels like unintuitive and stuff like that. We have a channel for this on Discord. We'll be able to give feedback, give suggestions, and this is really what closed beta is all about. It is not meant to be like just an earlier access to the same version of the game. You're getting in early, meaning that some part of the game won't be finished, and that's kind of the deal you're dealing with. That's why it's like a founder. You're there before everyone else, meaning you're gonna see a lot of like behind the scene things, placeholder features and stuff like that, as we
And
keep working on the game.
obviously, no, I mean, I saw the question like, is the founder package or the founder packages limited in quantity? And no, they're not. So we think that it's a fair amount of money, and that if you're interested, then you can just get it. So we don't want like we don't want you to not be able to enter the closed beta access just because you're not in right now. So yeah, it's going to be accessible during the entire campaign for 30 days, starting in a little bit more than 30 minutes. So it's exciting. And then you have the ambassador packages. Gold founder package, by default you get this, and then you get to design a text decal that's going to be available on some or all vehicles. We'll see with you. Like we're basically going to set up a meeting, and you get to design a decal for a vehicle. Same for the image decal. If you have like a logo or anything or something that's interesting, and you have obviously like you have the copyrights on that image or text, and it's appropriate, of course, we reserve ourselves the right to say no if you want to put something that don't belong in a game. We want this game to be accessible to anyone. So, and then you have the billboard, because there's going to be some billboards in the game, in the Outbrk world. So you get to put something on this, and then you have for 450 you can have a town named after you. There's not going to be like hundreds of towns, so it's quite important. And then of course for 900 you get your own car, or the car of your dreams, if we can do it, and it's not like a branded, like an exact brand or something. But yeah, we can have your car designed. The reason why it's $900 is because that's pretty much the cost that it is to have someone model a high quality vehicle. We've been doing quotes with people, with artists, and let's say like you've seen the Dominator in the game right now, and it looks amazing from the outside, but we still want to redo the interior because we think it's not as good as we want it to be. So it's going to be money that we're going to put into making it look better. You have like the whole interior working, so you have the needles moving when you're driving. So if we want everything to look good, then obviously we need an artist to do it. So that's why it's at that price. All right, as far as when closed beta or alpha, or I mean closed beta or early access on Steam, we don't have a date. We said it a couple minutes ago. It's gonna be we're gonna be extremely transparent and honest with you guys. So if we're seeing if we announce a date, then we're 100% sure that we can deliver for that date. But yeah, of course, we are aiming for the end of 2020. Let's see if we can make it happen. That's up to a lot of things, including this Kickstarter campaign. Does the 900 cover the... Yeah. All the ambassador contains the gold package here. So you get the game, the closed beta access, gold cosmetic package, and then the thing that you have here. Canadian dollars, yes. And then the big one here, you get to sit down with us and develop an Outbrk secret or Easter egg or anything you have in mind. We think that such a high amount will be by people who have ideas. So and obviously the money to do this.
People are asking a lot about the estimate on release of closed beta. We don't have one right now. Since it's a testing phase, it will really depend on our development, I guess, speed. It's like we're gonna start doing that when we will be able to have a complete game loop with multiplayer and stuff like that. So people can actually have things to test. It's basically a stress test of our systems. So it really depends on like, it's probably going to be this year, but it really depends on when we will be ready to be to test things.
Yeah, for the founder packages, we said silver cosmetic package, gold cosmetic package. It comes with an exclusive paint that only you are gonna get. Same for a decal. It's gonna be like if you buy the game after it's released, you won't have access to that thing. So you're gonna be like exclusively having it. And we're gonna give small packs of cosmetic items. We don't want to give anything that's gonna help you in your chases because that would be very that would give an advantage to people with more money than the others. So we don't like this. Thanks, Peter. And we have some stretch goals here. In case in the event of the campaign going so well that we reach the goal and go even beyond it, then we have some stretch goals that's gonna add some features that we've seen in chat like quite a lot of times. Like people want a sandbox mode, they want single player missions, they want social features like voice chat and everything, AI like traffic, even wildlife like
Cows,
exactly. It's all stuff that needs to be extremely optimized and coded well. Traffic and wildlife especially, like it's really complicated in terms of multiplayer. We need to spawn them only when needed and stuff like that, because obviously the world is streamed. It's so big that we cannot load the whole world at once. So yeah.
Someone is asking if we don't hit the stretch goals, those other options are off the table. It means that it won't be prioritized as much. It will, like, we won't commit on them if we don't hit the stretch goal. If the game sells extremely well, it's something we could do later, but we cannot.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we won't get there one day, like after the release of the game, but it's just that we can comfortably say that we can commit to doing this on top of the regular features if we get that amount of money, because we contacted a lot of people about this and got quotes from different companies. Stuff. Maybe this is interesting too.
Yeah, we are showing like where the money is going. As always, we try to be very open with like our community. We are asking for a good amount of money, so we want to show exactly where it goes. It doesn't go all in Doritos. It's like Doritos are part of the safety net, I guess. But it's
Yeah,
it's
network takes a
yeah,
lot of it, and then VFX, you've seen a bit of it already. Environment assets, that's vegetation, that's buildings, anything, because we can't just go on asset stores or model stores and buy some houses that looks good, because we need houses that are destructible so that tornadoes can destroy them. Same for chase cars. It's from quotes. We just estimated this. And then obviously there's the Kickstarter fees and the payment processing fees. So like if we're asking for 30,000 right now, that means that we're actually asking for a bit less. It's just that we need to cover the fees here. And then after that we have everything we need to deliver a working game. All right, what else?
we can talk about the risk and stuff. Well, or we can go a little bit over the rest of the. Yeah, we have a bunch of things to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our friends, or let's talk about like yeah, why Kickstarter?
Yeah, I mean, we could have, uh, if we decided to try and get funding from government or other places, uh, we wouldn't have what we're trying to have here. So basically, we want to include players. If like a bunch of you guys are getting access to the closed beta, and then you feel like something's wrong with this thing here, and this vehicle doesn't feel right because it should be doing this or that, or anything that changes the way you play, then we want to fix it and make it better for everyone. So including everyone in the process and making you like part of it, I think is really important. We want to be independent from any like producer or anything that they like. We don't want a big company to start telling us like how to do the game, because you know we're doing the game we'd want to play. Yeah, and it's also a way to give you early access and enable the servers and everything before we can call it 1.0. Thanks, Jan. As far as system requirements, we have no idea right now because we need to test it on different setups first. I think closed beta will help a lot with that, but obviously we're trying to make it run on as many setups as possible. Anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah, our general goal is to keep the game accessible for like not high-end PCs. Obviously, doing what we're doing is requiring a lot of power, but we are making smart choices already early in development to make sure that even people with a less powerful PC will be able to play the game in comfortable settings.
Yeah, like for example, like when we were, yeah, I mean, you saw a lot of tornadoes in Outbrk, and they didn't look as good as you would expect. Let's say, I'm gonna go to this tweet that we did today, I think. This is a good example. Like this tornado, at first, this is the one we have right now. It looks like, you know, like a mesh that's rotating, and it's made of like ribbons and everything. It doesn't look as good as we want it to look at the end. But the main thing that we wanted to do first is that to make it work. So it has to work with the system. It has to be simulated correctly. And then after that, we've already started. We're doing like better graphics. We're gonna make it look like it's made of cloud material instead of solid mesh. Same for the clouds. We posted another one a bit earlier. So yeah. Yeah, I was going to say this because of optimization, because from the start we didn't want to use particles. I'm seeing someone saying particles. There is absolutely 0 particles involved in this visual here. It's still a mesh, just like here. It's a solid model, and the model is driven by the weather data. So if the tornado bends, the mesh will bend if it grows or anything, and then same thing happens here. It's just your graphic card is rendering it in a more like sexier way, if you may. So that's a lot of complex coding and testings and everything, because it needs to work with transparency. But yeah, no particles, obviously, because we don't want people to not be able to play it on lower end computers. You need to be able to have a good frame rate even when this big tornado is near you. So actually, like if you're driving in the world of Outbrk and this tornado gets close to you, it shouldn't affect your performance at all. Like not even like a little drop of FPS normally. That's the goal of not using particles. Do you see any other questions?
Someone is asking why Paw Patrol is trending.
Is it? Well, I don't know.
Thank you. We can move on a little bit further down in the.
We've introduced ourselves, but
Yeah, but we can talk about like Angelo and Steve. Like
You
they're
can
not
go
here
ahead.
right now, but like Angelo and Steve has been doing a fantastic job. They've been driving our social medias for all the Kickstarter campaign and everything. They have been like answering to people on Facebook, Twitter, and they have been like we've been receiving a ton of private messages as well. They have been taking care of that. They are doing an amazing work, so we can focus on the game. Mark and I's time are very valuable, so having like a community manager that they know the game as much as we do. We brief them very frequently when we like as we develop the game. They are part of the development team, and they are doing a phenomenal job at just promoting the game, creating graphics, creating like all the posts, scheduling, all of that stuff. Even reaching out to influencers like YouTubers and stuff like that. So we really feel like they are doing their fair share of work to be part of the development team. Without them, we will like without them, some of you will probably never have heard of Outbrk. So like big thanks to them. Of course, they are very very important. You can see them in our Discord. Angelo is of course Angelo, and Steve is Bone Steel in the Outbrk Discord team. It's just Bones, in fact.
Yeah, it's Bones.
Bones.
And then we already like are working with some external resources, like this little studio like here in Quebec that's gonna work on the networking, and then we have Jenga Effects. Show you like they are doing some very nice fluid simulations, and they're also doing vector field. So like all the physics from the tornadoes are generated from vector fields like this. So like when an object is flying around the tornado, it's affected by thousands of these little arrows that you're seeing here. And yeah, that's dynamic and that moves with the tornado. So that's a technology that they developed, and we've been like working with them since they're like very early versions of their systems.
Someone's
Yeah.
asking, do you think guys will do outreach to educator with this project? And yes, this is something we need to do, especially with like stuff like the offline and sandbox mode. where people can just use Outbrk for educational purposes, since we are relying a lot on real data and real simulation. Outbrk could be totally used for educational purposes and scientific purposes to like see
For
whether
for
system,
learning, yeah.
yeah, for learning, exactly.
Yeah, because like even if I created the scenarios after like having over 100 of them created, I won't be able to tell like what's gonna happen in every one of them. So I'm gonna have to actually do my own forecast every time I'm playing. So, and if you know about weather forecasting, you're gonna like what you're seeing in the game, because that's gonna be accurate to what the the data that you're seeing is gonna fit the storms that happens in the game. And this is a little studio in Montreal that's actually high-end audio, and this is where I work. I'm a sound engineer, mixer. I do mastering too. We work for advertisements and TV shows and whatnot. So I'm gonna do like all sound design for Outbrk in super high-end studio there in Montreal. What else do you want to cover?
Can talk about our friends.
Yes. So we have the Prairie Storm Chasers and the Dominator team. So Sean Schoffer, I don't know how to actually say his name, but Sean has been amazing. Like since the beginning, he's been following us and helping us get some some follows, and I think he believed in the project from the beginning. And same for Reed Timmer, that pretty much everybody knows if they're into storm chasing. So Sean owns the Dominator 3 vehicle that we had modeled for the game that you can see here. And from the same team you have Braden Morisseau with the Predator, I don't know how you guys say it. And it's this cool green Jeep here. That's gonna be used as skins in the game, basically. So you're gonna have 4 types of vehicles. So it's gonna be like the sedan, the truck, the SUV, and then the armored vehicle. And some of them that you see here are gonna be skins for one of the categories. Anything else you wanted to say about these cool guys
totally.
here?
Well, you just about what you said with the skins type. Obviously, implementing like insane cars as like the Dominator in our game, we had to make sure that like on the game design side, it will not be too strong compared to what people are driving. So we built our system as like, in the normal progression, you can reach a point where you have just a generic armored car that has the same exact spec as like the Dominator would have, and then you can apply a skin over that that armored car, like that will just replace the visual for the Dominator. So you won't get any advantage versus someone that actually grind to the point of having an armored car. It's just going to be a visual swap. You want like we've been repeating over and over in our Discord that we want to make sure that nothing in the game is pay to win. We like it's a multiplayer game, so we want to respect our player base and make sure that like we have some kind of progression, that people like gain points and money and stuff by playing, and like a little bit like you will see in like an Need for Speed game or something like that, where you gain points, you upgrade your car, you gain more points, you buy a new car, stuff like that, and then you progress and then you progress, and then at some point you reach the class of armored car, and at this point you can unlock the Dominator skin for that car, but you have the same the same potential of upgrades as the armored car. So you're gonna have like, let's say most of the people will have a civil version of the Dominator being as good with the same specs, the same thing. But if you want your car to be looking like the Dominator exactly, well, it's just a visual swap. We're gonna have the same thing for all the famous storm chasing cars. We have like a version of the body type of those cars, and the like legendary chase cars will be used as a full body skin. Something you cannot be you won't be able to customize further. It's like a whole package. On your normal car, you'll be able to like change the paint color, add decals, add cosmetics, add like light bars and stuff like that. You can make it your own, or you can also choose a premium skin that is going to be a full body swap for
Yeah.
a famous car.
I'm seeing some questions here. So like, yeah, you will have to watch your fuel levels. There's gonna be gas stations all across the map, so you're gonna have to stop sometime to fill up your tank. What else? I saw what model data products will be available. So like, we're gonna add more and more. So like, there's gonna be model data that you can see at the beginning of a game. You can access it during the whole game, but for now it's cape, 06 shear, low level shear, and then there's also like some composite things like supercell composite, significant tornado. There's a lot of them, and we're just gonna add more as we develop the game. As far as radars are concerned, right now we only have reflectivity and velocity, and there's nothing really stopping us from adding more and more. But like, it's just a matter of priorities. Like, the most important things to have first are reflectivity and velocity, and then we're gonna add more, and you're gonna be able to dig into it. But yeah.
How long is our Kickstarter video? Because maybe
5
we
something.
get close. Okay.
So yeah, for friends, there is this guy here. He did a little video for us because I met with him in the field during my last chase season. You just you will be able to click on it and see it. And then there's Extreme Tornado Tours, basically a very nice tour company that you can pay and live storm chasing for real without jumping into it without knowing what you're doing. So like, these guys are professionals. They can bring you to see tornadoes, and yeah, they have over 40 years of combined experience. So you're gonna have like their famous tour van. You're gonna have this amazing car here, and there's also Daniel from Australia. He's well known on the internet, like for his live streams and videos. So we spoke with him, and we thought it would be really cool to have his SUV here. I guess like before showing or like actually kicking things. Radar trucks. Every car that you know exists needs to be like, we need to have the people that own the car needs to tell us that we can use it. So we'll see in the future, but I don't see why we wouldn't have it in the future. Like, it can be like something that looks like it, but it's not going to be like the Doppler on wheels if they don't tell us that it's okay if we use it. Is that it, David?
Where you're showing the risks and challenges right now.
Yeah.
Absolute transparency is something very important for.
Yeah, absolute transparency. Like, we're
It comes
active on
with
Discord,
yeah.
we're active on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're always answering. We have a team for that, and it comes with like the good sides and the bad sides, but we're gonna tell you everything. So like, as we make the game better and better and closer to a release, we're just gonna keep you informed, and we're gonna commit to being as transparent as possible. We're also gonna be kind of not forced, but like we commit to like give more updates than what we're doing right now. So I don't know if you had to say something.
All our efforts were to build a Kickstarter page, build the campaign, build our moderation team, so we can keep our Discord and our community healthy as we grow. We also built like our relationship with like I call them business partner, but it kind of groups all the storm chasers that supports us, and like all the potential influencers. There are like so it a lot of heavy work behind the scenes to make sure that we can actually make this game. But some of you might know that I stream on Twitch sometimes when I do wall design and stuff like that. This is one of the ways that we keep our developments open. You can see me struggle with runabouts and stuff like that. It's a little insight for the people that were there early in development. And yeah, I have my cat on my legs. Yes. Yes. So yeah, it come with that. We always answer everything on Discord. Super important for us to have being transparent. Sometimes like people ask odd questions and it comes with us answering them like, no, we won't do that and stuff like that.
I think we have to move to the video now.
All right, so we're gonna show you the video of like the Kickstarter, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna sit there with you as we launch this campaign, click on the go live and stuff. So
this is my beautiful face. Let's do it.
Mark, and I'm a storm chaser.
Yeah, he knows the lyrics.
Yeah.
All right, so see you guys later. Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm a storm chaser. I've been doing this for 14 years now, and I couldn't help but notice how long it felt to just wait for the next chase season to be back, especially up here in Eastern Canada. So I created Outbrk, an open-world multiplayer storm chasing simulation game that's going to be released on Steam.
Every storm chaser knows about weather models, and nowadays the resolution has gotten really impressive. Basically, a bunch of supercomputers can forecast extremely detailed weather patterns, including thunderstorms and conditions that favor tornadoes. They're not always right, but they offer valuable data to a forecaster to pinpoint the greatest risks of severe weather. The best part is that most of this data is archived and accessible to anyone with some coding knowledge.
So a friend of mine once told me you should use this data into your game, and that's what we did.
By using historical data combined with model data from the day of an event, we were able to reproduce most of the weather events that happened or could have happened any given day. And that's where David comes in.
Hi, I'm David, and I'm building the Outbrk world and game systems. Accurately reproducing extreme weather event in a video game is something that has never been done to this scale before. This breakthrough also comes with the challenge of building a world big enough to fit massive storms from birth to death. So we're building a 625 km squared map containing interstates, town, vegetation, just your average tornado food. We're also taking particular care about players' navigation. We want to make sure that each player has to constantly reevaluate which road to take in order to put themselves in the best position possible to intercept massive tornadoes, all while staying out of harm's way. Complex cities road networks and accidented country road will surely punish reckless drivers, possibly even ending their chase early in a ditch or crashed in a tree. Here is what to expect when storm chasing in the world of Outbrk.
Every player starts the game at the same randomly selected location in Outbrk's huge world. As the weather scenario begins to develop storms, take a look at the official forecast and plan your adventure. If you feel like digging deeper to stay ahead of the other players, consult a variety of weather data maps. Get in your vehicle and start driving towards your target. Make sure to stop every now and then to reevaluate your decisions. As you keep an eye on the radar and monitor your targeted storm's development, it's time to approach the beast. If you want quality data, you must get as close as possible to any violent phenomena without getting yourself in trouble. Positioning yourself ahead of a tornado to deploy your probe will require a lot of practice and skill. Don't forget to pull the trigger of your camera for extra value. As you maneuver to get the most out of your chase, keep an eye out for large hail. This could severely damage your vehicle. Don't get out of your vehicle in a lightning-prone area if you don't have to. You could get yourself hit by some supercharged bolt. And last but not least, watch your fuel level. You'll have to plan ahead if you don't want to get yourself stuck somewhere out of gas. When the scenario comes to an end, or if you decide to call it a day, all your gathered data from your camera and probes will be exchanged for in-game currency. Any required repairs to your vehicle will be subtracted from your earnings. If you get yourself killed or total your vehicle, you won't get any rewards. In the menu after each scenario, visit your garage to upgrade your vehicles, buy new ones, or customize their look. From the very beginning of the project, we have included our ever-growing community in the development process. We truly feel that staying open and close to the players will help us improve the game so it reaches its full potential. Aside from collaboration with our community, it's very important to us that the players get the feeling of total immersion while playing Outbreak. So now that our storms are realistically simulated, our artists continue to work on the visuals. Here are some examples of what clouds and tornadoes are expected to look like in the game.
We hope you are as excited as we are to play Outbreak. If you need more information or if you just have a question, you can join our Discord server. You'll find the link on the Kickstarter page. Thanks a million, and I hope to see you in the field.
And it's midnight. So I am clicking right now. Are you ready, David? Are you still here?
Yes.
All right. I am clicking launch now. Drum roll.
Stream your page. Stream your page.
Oh, right.
I have a very good shoulder cat right now.
And your project is live.
Show your screen.
It's not on screen. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's live. Oh my god, I'm seeing the money go up already.
Congratulations, Mark, man. We've done it. Now it's the start of the rest of the amazing work we've been doing so far. It's like so much work and a lot of amazing things coming forward.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to be there with you guys and to do that with you. It's like community had been a very big part of this, and we wouldn't be there without you guys. So yeah, thanks to everyone.
Like
You want to
I
do
can't.
the other thing? Yeah. Do you want to do the other thing we said we will do today?
Yeah, I think we could do it.
Yeah, man. We're putting Outbreak on Steam as the coming soon page, so you can now wishlist it.
Yeah, and you're gonna be able
an
to.
easy word for my French Canadian. Wishlist it.
Wishlist it. Hold on, let me go back to the chat. Oh wow. Thank you so much, guys. I'm seeing like all of you donating right now, and I'm so excited.
That's amazing. Thanks everyone for tuning in for this celebratory stream. I hope you guys like ate a lot of Doritos as I did.
The store page should be live now. Yes.
Can the moderators link the Kickstarter page in the chat? Or Mark or something, someone. It's time to
Kickstarter?
spam that link. Yeah.
Yes.
Post that like 70 times in the chat. Dominating.
You can find it on Steam. Maybe it takes a little while. But I'm pretty sure that if I library store. What do you mean doxed?
Outbrk.
Yeah, it's there.
Outbrk.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks, everyone. Oh my god. Alright, it's really exciting.
All right, so does that conclude tonight's stream? Oh, can we link the Steam one? Yes. Do you have
Yes.
the link? Click. Steam, go wishlist it now. Hair horn.
So is that it? I think we'll see what you guys decide happens with Outbrk.
Yep, it's all in your hands right now.
It's all in your hands, and we hope you're as excited as we are, as I said in the video. Oh my god. Is the account name is what? It's what you want us to put in there. That's gonna be shown. There's gonna be like when the Kickstarter campaign is about to end or ended, you're gonna have a survey that you're gonna receive. So like if you backed for a given reward or anything, you're gonna have to answer some questions for us, and then we're gonna deliver everything for you. So if you just donated the smaller amount of 5 and you want your name to be in there, we'll obviously ask you if you want your real name to be in there, or if you want a gamer name or a tag to be there.
Gaspar.
Gaspar, indeed.
Can I be Gaspar in the credit?
Thank you, Kyle. Survey.
Servo. We're just doing our best, okay? We're French Canadian.
All right. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and let's see what happens in the upcoming days. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next time.
Exactly.
Groove.